I hope you guys are all having a great weekend. This is our weekly watch list video, high in a few stocks we are watching, as well as a key market breakdown. Enjoy. So getting things started, I'm going to be breaking down the economic calendar. That's the first thing I like to do, is what is the market doing in the upcoming week in terms of economic data. And that oftentimes is something you want to know because you don't want to be putting on risk, obviously, right before the news release. And you can sometimes see chop and range if we have important data. And looking at the economic calendar, let me drag this over here. We really don't have much. Monday, we have nothing of importance. Tuesday, we have nothing of importance. Orange folder news here, it's not going to be moving much. Wednesday, nothing. And then Thursday, we have unemployment claims, which will give us a little bit of volatility in the morning. And then on Friday, we have two services, or the services and manufacturing PMI. So a rather slow week economically, so nothing too much to watch out for there. Now, in terms of the daily charts and breakdown here on NQ, we'll break this down, break down RTY, and then three plays that I'm watching here this week. So from a weekly chart perspective, we come in, so we wipe these highs here, so we get a very strong bullish bar. And this is common, and I mentioned this within the group, is it would not surprise me to see consolidation to digest this prior move. Now, I didn't expect us to negate over 50% of this bar here, but we are forming a 3-bar play here on the weekly after digesting this massive move up here. This is common to see here. So for me, where do we go from here is the question. And from the daily chart, that can give us a little bit more of an insight. For me here on the NASDAQ, what we see here is /NQ. We have these series of higher highs, higher highs, higher highs. And now we're coming down here. And the question is, do we hold here and then trigger that 3-bar play on the weekly chart? And if that's the case, then this would just become that new potential higher low. Then for this green bar to do something like this, and then we could get another follow through and then just reclaim higher for that weekly 3-bar play, which will just correspond with a daily higher low on this. Ideally, we hold it on Monday, and this is the exact plan for Monday. We come down, we hold 24.2150s, put in a higher low off of this bottom, and then it can rally up into 27.77.5. And then above that, on any strength up into 21.110, 0.65s is also on the table here. We tried to break this prior bar high here, failed, and then 2 days of selling pressure here. So if we hold 24.2150s on Monday, definitely keeping this on watch for a bounce and then a rally to the upside. Below that, we could come down into this pivot then, down into 20.03297s. Now, when we go into the small caps, this one has, in essence, filled the gap. So off of this gap here, off of the election, and it's following gap up here off the futures overnight movement, and then this open here. Now we're filling that gap to this prior structure here. And 23.0550s is crucial because below that, and really below 22.9640, this has room all the way into 21.9550s. So if this is truly weak this week, that is going to crack. But if we hold 23.0550s on Monday, I do think we can see a rally back up into 23.59. We get over that, and then we're off and running up into these higher targets up here this week. So keep that on watch here for that potential to hold. And the first play, and it's going to be my favorite play this week, and it's still something, yes, that the premiums are inflated out of their mind, but weekly 3-bar play, we made a new high here. Do we hold this low and make a higher low here for then that rally to the upside? So for me, what I would want to see here on the daily chart is we hold and open above 322.40. That can come down and hold or get the back through open for a rally up into 331.81s and then 340.38s. And it'd be interesting to note that this is that first daily trigger here that we've had in 5 days. So if we can trigger above that prior day high and get some sort of action like this, it doesn't look like much, but 322 into 331, that's a $9 move, roughly a 3% move here on this individual name. So it's something that could trigger and trade, and I'm watching that hold of 322.40 here come Monday. Apple, now these next two are by no means like an A setup like Tesla will be if it triggers, but what I see here from the weekly chart is we have a potential higher low. So we formed this low here, we formed this low here, and now we're forming or trying to form this potential higher low. We broke last week's high and then put in basically an indecision doji bar. So the question becomes, where do we go from here? Above 228.53 to me gives us a bit more of direction for a move back up into 234.72. Now, yes, we are roughly $3.50 away, but if we can trigger this, I do think we have room to the upside here, targeting that move over 228.53s up into 234.72. And from the daily chart, what we're trying to do then is that would just be this series of higher highs, higher lows. There's that higher high, and here's that prior higher high. So what that would be is a failed breakdown. And open above 226.43 from the daily chart looks good here. And then again, as mentioned, that 228.53 weekly trigger puts us on the room for this 234.72 prior lower high here before rolling over to the downside, and something to keep on watch here this week. And then the third move, again, by no means an A+ move. Whereas Tesla is setting up much better, but we triggered this weekly, and if this weekly wants to hold and make this a potential higher low, and we can get back over 428.39s, we have room to come up and test this area over 440. So for me, watching this failed breakdown that can trigger a weekly that looks something like this on any intraday strength that we can hold 414.01 or get above 428.39, that is going to be a long signal for me, taking it up into that 440 region above. I hope this video helps you guys. Let us know down below what you guys are watching, and I hope you guys all have a great week. Thank you.